Alright, welcome to the podcast on trinomial factoring, or the rainbow method as it's called. Today we're going to learn about how to change something from a polynomial form to a factored form. A factored form is something that looks like it's a quadratic. It's usually written in y equals or f of x equals. Then we have our factors. So we could have a factor like 3x plus 2 times x minus 1. It's called factored form because here's our two factors. We have 3x plus 2, and we also have x minus 1. Again, this is called factored form. To go from factored form to polynomial form or standard form, all we have to do is FOIL. It's a fancy way to say multiply everything in the first by everything in the second. So let's learn how to do that. Take your 3x, I'm going to multiply it by x to give me 3x squared. And then 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. Then I do 2 times x, 2x, and 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Combine my like terms, and I get 3x squared minus negative 3, and a positive 2 is a negative 1x, and minus 2. This is called standard form, or polynomial. Alright, what I want to teach you today is how to go from my standard form into my factored form, how to go reverse the operation. To do this, we're going to use something called the rainbow method. Here's why we call it the rainbow method, because we draw a little rainbow above it. The rainbow means multiplication. So what we're going to do, move this over a little bit. 3 times negative 2, we multiply the coefficients, it gives me negative 6. I'm going to draw a little t-bar, and then what goes on the other side of the t-bar is this, my b value is negative 1. So negative 1. And then I'm going to play a game. This game I play is I'm going to find two numbers that when I multiply them equals negative 6. And the same numbers when I add them, it's going to be negative 1. So let's try to figure out what those numbers are. If you can do it in your head, that's great. But a systematic approach to doing that is just to take 1, 2, 3, and so forth until I find it. So I start with 1. 1 times negative 6 is negative 6. 1 plus negative 6 is negative 5. That didn't work. 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1. There it is. I found it. That was pretty quick. So I take my factors and I'm going to put it into my factored form. My factored form is 2 parentheses. And I'm going to do x is a positive 2 is one factor. And x minus 3 is my other factor. Then I want to take those numbers and divide it by my a value. My a value is 3, so divided by 3, divided by 3. That leaves me with x, oops. I can't divide 2 by 3 evenly, so what I do is I take this 3 and I move it to the front of my x. So 3x plus 2. And 3 does divide by 3 evenly, so this is going to be x minus 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. So y equals, and there's my factored form. Let's check it. And indeed, it checked with the first one I did. So let's go ahead and do one from our homework. Let's do problem number 1. So here's my homework problem. Remember, this is just my equation. My pen to work. There we go. So this is just my y equals equation. This is in standard form or polynomial form. I want to change this into quadratic or factored form. So we're going to do the rainbow method. We have 2 times 21, which gives me 42. Draw my grid. And here's my b value, negative 13. And then I need to find two numbers, remember, that are going to multiply to be 42 and add to be negative 13. So again, I start with 1. 1 times 42 gives me 42. Add them gives me 43. Nope. 2. 2 times 21. Add them together gives me 23. Nope. 3. The way to check for 3 is add your number. So 4 plus 2 is 6. And 6 is divisible by 3. So 42 is going to be divisible by 3. So 3 times 14. 3 plus 14 is 17. Nope, but I'm getting closer. 4. The way to check for 4 is divide by 2 twice. So 42 divided by 2 once is 21. Divided again, it doesn't go evenly, so 4 is not an option. 5, well, it doesn't end with a 5 or a 0, so that doesn't work. 6. 6 times 7 is 42. Add them. I get 13. Oh, that's pretty close. I got a negative 13 and a positive 13, so we're off just by our sign. So what we can do is just change the sign of everything. We're multiplying, so negative 6, negative 7. When I multiply, that still equals 42, but when I add, now it equals negative 13. And that works. So go over to my equation, put in my factors. So that's going to be x minus 6 and x minus 7, because I have a negative 6 and a negative 7. And then I divide by my a value. Remember, my a value is 2. So we can divide everything by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 6 does divide by 2 evenly, so it's going to be x minus 3. And 7 does not divide by 2 evenly, so that's going to be 7x. Oops. Sorry. 2x minus 7. And this is my factored form. Y equals x minus 3 times 2x minus 7. And that's how you do it. Alright, I'm going to do number 2 with you guys. I'm going to set this one equal to y. If I'm not finding my roots, I can just set it equal to y and create a new equation. At the end, I'll have my factored form of my polynomial, my quadratic. So I start by drawing my rainbow. So 7 times 80. So 7 times 80 is 560. And my b value is 46. Oh, and this is a negative 560. So it means that I'm going to be adding two opposite signed values. So okay, we're going to start with 1. 1 times negative 560 is going to be negative 559. These beginning ones will seem a little silly. They won't work until we get closer. But we'll do them anyways. So 2 times 560 divided by 2 is negative 280. Add them together, I get negative 278. Not yet. 3. To check for 3 is just add the numbers up. So 5 plus 6 plus 0 is 11. And 11 is not divisible by 3, so it doesn't work. 4. 560 divided by 2 is 280. Divided by 2 is 140. So negative 140. So I get negative 136. 5. 5 has to end in a 0 or a 5, and it does. So 560 divided by 5 is 112. 112 minus 5, negative 5, is negative 107. Not yet. 6. 560. 6 goes into... Nope, not evenly, but 7 does. So 7 times negative 80, that's how I got here to begin with, is going to be negative 73. Nope. 8 times negative 70 is negative 560. That gives me negative 62. Nope. 9. Again, you can add the number to see if it's divisible by 9. So 5 plus 6 is 11. That's not divisible by 9. 10 ends with a 0, so that works. So 10 times negative 56 is negative 46. Sweet, we're really close. We got a negative 46 and we should have gotten a 46. So again, our signs are wrong, so we just switch our signs. So we're going to say negative 10 and positive 56. That gives me a positive 46 when I add them. Negative 10 and positive 56 is still negative 560, so that checks. There's my, that works right there. So I put my parentheses up, so I have parentheses x, it's a negative 10, and x is a positive 56, y, and then I divide by my a value right there. So divide by 7, divide by 7. 10 does not divide by 7 evenly, so I can say 7x minus 10. 56 does divide by 7 evenly, so it's x plus 8 equals y. And there is my factored form. Alright, why don't you pause it right here. So let's start out. I'm going to set this equal to y, so I get my factored form. I'm going to multiply 5 times 28. 5 times 28 is 140. And my b value is negative 39. So again, I'm going to start with my 1. So 1 times 140 is 141. 2. 2 times 70 is 72. 3. 4 plus 1 is 5, so it doesn't go in there evenly. 4. 140 divided by 2 is 70, divided by 2 is 35, so 4 times 35 is 39. Right number, wrong sign, so what do? Negative 4, negative 35, and negative 39. So I'll write my factored form. So it's going to be x minus 4 and x minus 35. Divide by my a value. 4 does not divide by 5 evenly, so it's going to be 5x minus 4. 35 does divide by 5 evenly, so it's going to be x minus 7 equals y. And there you have it. That's the rainbow method.